Yo, what's going on, fellas? It's your boy Tristan, aka SrirachaDFS, back once again with DFS Karma. Welcome to another first impression video where we do a very early preview of the upcoming NBA slate. The main purpose of the video is to highlight the totals of each game, who's favored, give you guys an injury rundown, and as well as the people who benefit, people who basically take a hit from the people on the injury list. Make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel so you do not miss out on any of our free media content or our live streams. Also, make sure you're in our free chat room where we discuss things DFS 24/7 all day, every day. We have free advice, free plays, free picks, free articles. You guys can ask us questions. It's a good time. It benefits you. So yeah, go ahead, hop in, chatdfs.com. Link is down in the description below. With that being said, we have a 5-game slate for today's Sunday NBA DFS slate. It's not too big. You got 5 games, the same as yesterday. So it's going to be somewhat similar, but different, of course, because of the different teams, different injuries. You know how it is. First game, Houston at Orlando, opened up at a 218.5 total. Houston favored by 1.5 on the Houston side. John Wall's out, Eric Gordon's out, Daniel House is out, Sterling Brown is out, David Nwaba is out, and DJ Augustine is out. As you can see, the guard spot for Houston has been completely depleted. It's a huge bump to KPJ, Kevin Porter Jr., and small bumps to people like Armani Brooks and Avery Bradley, since they are basically the only pure guards that Houston has, besides Kevin Porter Jr., who should start at point guard, even though, you know, he is technically a small forward. We will probably see a little more of Daquan Jeffries, not too much, and then it does give bumps up to Christian Wood and Jayshawn Tate as well. I do expect Avery Bradley to start tomorrow, with KPJ at the one position, the one spot. So we'll see that. We'll actually get the starting lineup before lock tomorrow. So definitely monitor that. Hop in the chat if you have any questions. You know how it is. Orlando, Mo Bamba questionable, Michael Carter Williams out, Otto Porter out, and Markelle Fultz out as well. Basically a bump up to Cole Anthony. He started last game. He should start tonight. Houston's not too great defensively. Neither is Orlando. Both teams are pretty bad. So definitely a bump up to Cole Anthony. And if Mo Bamba continues to sit, then it's a huge bump up to Wendell Carter Jr. Next game, OKC at Toronto, opened up at a 220.5 total. Toronto favored by 11.5. On the OKC side, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is out. Aleksej Pokusevski's out. Al Horford's out. Josh Hall's out. And Mike Muscala out as well. Huge bump up to Lou Dort. We've seen him pull off a couple crazy games ever since he's come back from this injury. All the usage seems to be going to him. Like him tomorrow, Darius Bazley, also a prime guy who benefits from all these players being out. On the Toronto side, Fred VanVleet is questionable and Gary Trent questionable as well. If Fred VanVleet were to continue to sit, big bump up to Kyle Lowry. Pascal Siakam, definitely going to have to rely on them for the offensive load for the night. And something to note is that Khem Birch has been starting at the center spot with Chris Boucher at the 4. Not sure how that affects tonight, seeing that Kyle Lowry, Siakam, and OG are back. So definitely watch that starting lineup news. Next game, Portland at Charlotte, opened up at a 223.5 total. Portland favored by 5.5 on the Portland side. Huge news. Damian Lillard is out, highest usage player on that team. Big bump up to CJ McCollum, Norman Powell, Robert Covington. And then in tournaments, I think you can take a look at Anthony Simons. The only reason why I say that Anthony's only in tournaments, at least for me, is that because there are 2 lineup possibilities that Terry Stotts could go with. He could either go with Anthony at the point guard spot with CJ, Norm, Covington, and Canner/Nurk, or he could go CJ at the point guard spot with Norman Powell at the 2, and at the 3 would be Derrick Jones Jr. / Carmelo Anthony, Covington at the 4, and then Canner or Nurkic at the 5. So I think there's 2 possibilities he can go with this. Obviously, it's hard to tell. That's why I'm putting Anthony at Turney's only. On the Charlotte side, Devontae Graham questionable. If Devontae Graham is actually rolled in, I do like Anthony because I think he's able to match up with Devontae Graham since they're both kind of short. point guards, they definitely can match up against each other. So that's something to note. Like I said, Devontae Graham questionable, PJ Washington questionable, Malik Monk out, LaMelo Ball out, and Gordon Hayward out as well. If Devontae Graham sits, big bump up to Terry Rozier and bump up to the Martin twins, Cody and Caleb Martin. I like the one who starts more. Last time Coach Borrego started, I think, Cody Martin, and he's been starting Caleb Martin. So it's very weird how he decides that. If PJ Washington's out, big bump up to Miles Bridges and Jalen McDaniels. And something to note, Vernon Carey started at the 5 spot last game against Brooklyn, who is not someone to mess with, seeing that Kyrie and KD definitely played that game against Charlotte, and Vernon Carey did well. I mean, he held his own, played 30 plus minutes. Looks like they're taking a hard look at him, and he definitely passed the first test against a tough Brooklyn team. So something to note there. Sacramento at Dallas is the next game on the slate. Opened up at a 230 total. Dallas favored by 8. On the Sacramento side, Rashawn Holmes is out and Marvin Bagley out as well. Basically a bump up to Hassan Whiteside, but we know Luke Walton, he doesn't really like Hassan. Otherwise, he'd be playing him 30 minutes and he'd be getting a ton of fantasy points. But I mean, Luke Walton's been playing people like Harrison Barnes at the 5, Metu at the 5. We've seen Damian Jones start. It's all weird. I don't know how to read it, but they will need some size against Kristaps Porzingis. Harrison Barnes gets a bump, and then one of either DeLon Wright or Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah, even Tyrese Halliburton, he got 23 minutes last game. He's a game-changing player. He impacts the game in huge reasons. And Luke Walton is playing in 23 minutes, so just something to note. On the Dallas side, there are no injuries, nothing really to talk about here. Last game on the slate, Minnesota at Clippers, opened up at a 234.5 total. I think this is the highest on the slate. Definitely going to want pieces of this game. Clippers are favored by 8.5. On the Minnesota side, Jalen Noel is doubtful, and Malik Beasley's out. If Jalen Noel continues to sit, then basically Ricky Rubio, a little bit of a bump, and D'Angelo Russell as well. The offense runs through Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards, and D'Angelo Russell, but the rotation was very weird last game. Juancho Hernan-Gomez, Jared Vanderbilt, and Naz Reid both received, I think, 20 plus minutes and scored a ton of fantasy points and real points as well. So they did beat, I think, who did they face? They faced Miami and beat them in a weird matchup in a weird game that had Karl Anthony Towns playing sub 25 minutes, D'Angelo playing sub 25 minutes. So watch out for that rotation. On the Clippers side, Kawhi Leonard questionable, Serge Ibaka out, and Patrick Beverley out as well. If Kawhi Leonard continues to sit, basically huge bumps up to Paul George, and Reggie Jackson, and the rest are kind of random to read right now just because Rondo got a huge run last game without Kawhi. He got overvalued. Batum basically hit, and Morris didn't hit, but he usually benefits. So it's hard to read. But if Kawhi Leonard is out, I do like this game to be a lot closer than what Vegas thinks. Minnesota might be able to cover this, so definitely monitor the Kawhi news for sure. And that wraps up this first impression video for the upcoming NBA slate. If you like the video, please go ahead, give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it a lot. Don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel for more daily media content like this and our live streams. I appreciate you guys all for watching. As always, it's been your boy Tristan, aka SrirachaDFS. Good luck in your contests tonight. Have a good Sunday and have a good day. Have yourselves a good one. I'm out. Peace.